Welcome to the Witching Hour Archives, where soft magic meets spooky vibes. I'm Astrid.
And I'm Melody, and we'll be your witches for the evening.
Tonight, we will be exploring the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Cool. We do not know what we are presenting for each other whenever we're recording, so it's always fun. Anyway,
It's always a good
surprise. But before we dive into that, let's take a moment to reflect on today's fun historical fact, which is, and I will probably butch multiple things said in this sentence, so be aware if you're Italian. Italian author Petrarch, I don't know, finished his poem I Trionfi. Probably said that wrong. That was the inspiration for later decks of tarot cards. This happened in 1374 on the 12th of February.
It's a hot second ago.
That is a hot second ago.
Okay. Know about gang violence?
I know it's a problem in big cities around
the
globe.
Okay. What do you know about
certainly
Chicago?
Like the I know that Chicago is a place that has a population of people who are very proud to be from Chicago.
This is very true.
Seems fair. Seems cool. A lot of stuff. It's a windy, a lot of wind.
A lot of wind. Big lake. Our intrepid story takes place February 14th, 1929 in Chicago, Illinois.
Valentine.
So we are Valentine's Day. We are Prohibition United States. So if you are unaware, in the 20s, it didn't last very long, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. The U.S. banned alcohol, or outlawed alcohol.
Never a good thing to do.
Some stuff that came out of this was a lot of gang. They started what's the word I'm looking for? Dealing in alcoholic beverages. But essentially it's called bootlegging. So while Prohibition was intended originally to reduce crime and social problems, instead it created a giant black market for alcohol led by criminal organizations. One of the most famous people to be involved in this is our good friend and main character today, Al Capone.
Hey,
so if you've ever watched Scarface, I believe this event is referenced a couple times. Same thing is it Goodfellas? I think they've also referenced it in Goodfellas. I know Boardwalk Empire also references it and kind of takes inspiration for an event in that TV show as well. Our side character is George Bugs Moran, who is the leader of a different gang. So Chicago was split up between the north side and the south side. Al Capone led the south side Italian gang. Moran ran the north side gang, which was largely made up of Irish Americans. Both people back in the day were told they were not white. So I don't know if you've been to Ireland.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I don't know if you've seen Sheamus in WWE.
I have.
That man is white.
White. So the rivalry between these two gang leaders was very, very personal because they essentially were taking business from each other. By early 1929, tensions between the two were incredibly high. Attempts had been made on both people's lives, and essentially violence had been escalating. On the morning of February 14th, 7 men connected to Moran's gang gathered inside a garage on North Clark Street. I do not know if that street still exists, but if it does, there you go. They believed they were there to receive a shipment of illegal alcohol, and instead, men posing as police officers showed up. The fake officers ordered the men to line up against the wall, making it appear like a routine arrest. This is also a weird time in policing, so the fact that the police were even there was kind of like a big deal because police didn't do jack shit back in the day. I could have a whole TED talk on that and community policing and the history of policing because I have taken so many classes on this. Once the men were in position against the wall, the attackers opened fire using Thompson submachine guns, otherwise colloquially known as the Tommy gun. All 7 men were killed. They're dead. I mean, shredded.
Okay.
Essentially, execution. Moran himself was originally supposed to be there, but he narrowly avoided being killed as he arrived late. He actually, he pulled up, saw the police officers from his car, and decided to leave.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As you would I assume.
You know, who wouldn't, honestly?
Mhm.
News of what happened spread very, very quickly. Crime scene photos were published in newspapers. Yeah, photos were published in newspapers across the country, and the brutality of the attack shocked people who had technically even become used to the gang violence. While that was normal, even this was a big deal because it was so, like, I hate the word brutal, but I feel like it's the only word that fits here. After the St. Valentine's Day massacre, government started responding to organized crime. Whereas before, they kind of just let them do whatever the fuck they wanted. Law enforcement they started focusing less on violent crimes and more on financial and tax-related offenses, which eventually led to Al Capone's conviction for tax evasion.
What?
White-collar crimes weren't really investigated or cared about at all. It was mostly like your violent street-level crimes. Then they realized because Al Capone was not the one committing these crimes, you couldn't pin him for murder because he was never there.
Yeah.
So you can't convict him on murder charges. He's not the one murdering. So what do you do? Well, what is he doing? Well, he ain't paying taxes, that's for sure. So you get him on tax evasion.
I mean, yeah, that's you take him on the actual crime that he's actually doing. I guess. Yeah.
Also, Al Capone, because policing Al Capone and these types of gangs were so difficult, it led to different eras of policing, and it changed how laws were written, how police were handled, how they were funded. You have Al Capone to thank for modern day policing.
I guess.
That is essentially how it started. Well, it started technically in London, but so yeah, that is the Valentine's Day Massacre.
I honestly, when you said Valentine's Day Massacre, I would think in my head that it would be like, oh, a mass murder, like a
More people than just 7.
yeah, but that's still a lot of people.
It's a lot, especially for the time and how it was done. It was a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I can like imagine it, like how that what that looked like. It is a massacre and has its rightful name.
Yeah, I mean, I was also expecting, especially when I heard it was like the gangs from Chicago going at each other. I was
Right.
like, oh, it's definitely going to be like they bust in during like a party or something.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like I said, they tend to like violence between gangs was very like contained. So usually violence wouldn't happen unless violence already occurred. It was very reciprocal.
I'm very intrigued by like the mafia thing. I don't know a lot about it, but I always thought it was very interesting.
I think their hierarchy is cool, not cool, but like fascinating in how they set everything up. I don't condone violence.
But knowing that it exists and how it works is interesting. It doesn't mean it's
Right.
good. It's interesting.
Exactly. That's it for this week's archive. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow and review and share your own manifestations.
And until the next witching hour, stay curious.